It's Quinn And Cantara, Pix 106, the most wanted man in the news business right now.
Former Patriot, Steventown homeowner Brian Holloway finally making the rounds here to Pix 106. Thanks for coming back onto the station. We know you used to spend some time here back in the day.
Yeah. I'm just leaving the city, and I just finished 3 morning talk shows. And so we're heading back because we're going to get ready for this big picnic honoring the military and their family tomorrow.
What, did you do, like TV talk shows, like Good Morning America kind of thing?
We did CNN and we did Fox, and we've got TMZ lined up for today.
Wow.
But I've got to get back there because I've got to organize the volunteers because we're going to be expecting anywhere from 200 to 1,000 military personnel and their family and veterans, which includes all the Capital District military personnel and their families have been invited to this picnic.
Right. The invitation to the party's up on our page, Quinn And Cantara page, pix106.com. Limited time with you, so let me get right to it. How many kids who were in your house at the party do you expect to come to your party tomorrow?
Well, I expect them and their parents to come help me put this on. I don't know if any will.
Right.
Right. I was a little concerned that they didn't show up to help with some of the cleanup, which is, beyond, I just can't imagine what they were thinking.
Wow.
But the point is, it is what it is. And so we'll see, because I'd like to take this and turn it around, and it becomes infinitely significant being able to honor the veterans and their families,
Right.
which is a much bigger conversation and much more important.
But just since we haven't spoken to you about it, what exactly... how much damage was there to the house? How often were you there prior to this all going down?
We're hearing that some of the damage was pre-existing to the last party.
Yeah, well, no. What happened is this. We were down in Florida. They decided to organize this splash party, and they sat there and just, went up and, over. I mean, this is the drugs and alcohol. That's all this stuff is, because most of these kids are good kids, but, what happened? Something snapped, something broke. So, 10 windows, destroyed.
You're watching this go down, Mr. Holloway, on Twitter. Did you immediately call the police? But you said you saw it in advance? I'm confused.
No, what happened was they were starting to tweet while they're at the party. My son at USF sent me an email and text, told me, Dad, there's some stuff going down at the house. And so I'm following this and following all the tweets while it's happening.
Okay.
So while it's happening, they're breaking in, having a good time. I can't believe we're trashing this place. I look at all the alcohol we're drinking. I'm so drunk. I can't wake up this girl.
Yeah,
oh my
we
God,
read the tweets. How did your son know that this was going down, though? That's what I don't understand. Was there a hashtag Holloway house, or who told him that this was your house?
But it was actually he got notice from a friend of his that somehow this was going down.
Okay.
And so all he did was reply back to it, and then he did a search for Steventown, and then all of a sudden, that's when, everything unloaded.
Okay, that clears it up a little bit for me.
And I don't have all the details, and I'm glad you're on the show, Mr. Holloway, to give us some of them. What do you say to the parents, and really it's probably more of an overall society thing, to the parents who are coming to the defense of their children and slandering you? What do you say to those parents?
The only thing I could say is if my child had broken into your home, was having a party, destroying it, and you put their picture on a website that they posted online, I would come over to your house and thank you, invite you to dinner,
right?
Because you took a stand to save my child's life.
How can it be possible?
And I love that, sir. I'm sorry, Quinn.
Well, yeah.
I would do the exact same thing.
Does it blow your mind that people are actually turning the tables on you in this situation? I mean, this is your house, your hard-earned money, your property.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. What it did was basically this. It exposed, so they told on themselves, right? So, the idea is that this is a larger issue that we now need to address. What's the bigger issue? The kids that did this, or the fact as a community that we chose a different way to respond? This is a call to action, and then we're playing small. And how is that possible? I don't get it.
Yeah. I get your motive. I get what you're saying, because I know what your current career as a motivational speaker. I see what you're trying to do with this, and more power to you.
Yep.
This is a great country. This is what we do. We're able to turn things like this into what you're doing right now. But who don't you want a little bit of retribution? Don't you want some payback? I'd have these kids picking up garbage on the highway till they're 30.
Well, I mean, of course you want to do that. I mean, but, you start by giving them the opportunity to stand up and have a great moment of integrity and accountability. Well, that didn't happen.
No.
So there's going to be consequences, and there's going to be consequences. But the idea is, let's get through. Whatever was broken can be fixed. Whatever was damaged can be fixed. Whatever was stolen can be returned. But the 300 lives are at risk, and that's what we need to focus on. Find out where we got off track. Find our way back so that we cannot face this again. Because if we don't get this handled now as a parent and our community and our teachers to really understand the idea and power of this Twitter, the conversation that's constantly ongoing, if we don't wrap our heads around that right now, trust me, they're coming to your house.
Well said. You can get details on the party honoring veterans tomorrow at Mr. Holloway's house in Stephentown. I live not far from that house. I had a previous date in New Hampshire. Otherwise, I'd be there. Quinn's already scheduled at Farm Aid. Otherwise, we would be there, sir. So we wish you a lot of luck. Before you go, 15 seconds. John Hanna, Steve Grogan, they were good guys, right?
They were the best. We were the original Iron Men that brought the Patriots to their first Super Bowl.
Yeah, and let's not talk about the Super Bowl. And I can't believe Mosey Tutupu's gone, right?
I was so shocked at that. Of all the ball players I've sadly had to bury, having to go to Mosey's, a couple years ago, it was devastating. There just weren't words. There wasn't a more beautiful soul that I knew him since I was in Hawaii when I was back in 1968.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. He's going to make me cry. Get out of here.
Well, listen, we'll keep your number when this all kind of settles down. We'd like to have you back on the show. Maybe we could actually talk football, and maybe you can motivate me into doing something decent.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Good luck, sir. It's Brian Holloway.